Hello and welcome back. Today I'm going to start a downsizing slash decluttering series because it's now not quite nearly 2 years since I did the big downsize. There are a lot of things in this apartment that I brought along thinking, maybe I'll use them, maybe I won't. It's sort of like a round 3, but it's also going to be just some good old-fashioned decluttering because we're autumn here in the southern hemisphere, but it's autumn slash spring cleaning, so it has to be happening at some point. Twice a year is always a good idea. So I'm going to start today with emptying, makeup and skincare, and we'll see how far I go. I'm not going to take you into the absolute chaos that is my bathroom cupboards. That looks fine on the outside. Open one of the doors and it all goes to custard. But I will bring things through and I'll sort them out with you. If you're new to my channel, I'm Deirdre, so if you like this sort of thing, don't forget to subscribe and hit that little notification bell so that you will be notified. Hey, that's a novel idea. Notified when I put up a new video. So I'm going to go and get things sort of stage by stage from my bathroom and we'll go through them all. And I thought I'd start with makeup brushes. Now, I confess, I probably didn't really get into makeup brushes till, I was probably older than the average bear. But they make all the difference, as far as I'm concerned, between a really an easy way of applying makeup and one that's not so great. The downside of makeup brushes is A, they get old, B, they include beauty blenders that need a wash, and you do have to clean them. So I thought I'd sort them sort of roughly into similar groups and then see which ones I am using, which ones I'm not, but either way I'm going to have to go through and give them all a really good wash. Now, if you're new, you may not know that I've done one ages ago, actually, now that I think about it, about cleaning them. And I would say this is the very best product for cleaning makeup brushes. This is Dr. Bronner's Pure Castile soap. This happens to be hemp and eucalyptus scent. It's irrelevant what scent you use. This smells quite nice, but the thing is that this Pure Castile soap just seems to be the most amazing way to clean the oils and the colour that we have on our makeup brushes and leaves them practically brand new. That's what I would advise, and that's what I'll do afterwards. I'll be cleaning up the outsides, putting aside any which really have just passed their best, and also putting aside some for washing. Since I've already shown you this, I'll start here. It's just a great little makeup set. It's part of the Backstage set. I've had it for years, but they're all in beautiful condition. They're really beautiful, soft, as you would expect from Dior, high quality, and perfect for travelling, which of course I will be doing later it's now, I've pushed out my trip to Africa. It's not going to be for 8 weeks, I think it is, but I'll talk more about that as we get closer. So that one I've already wiped down, and I will wash them when I get to washing. Beauty blenders, obviously, I don't use them a lot, but when you do, this is the only thing I've ever found that gets them back to new. This is one that is just there because it's so really pretty, and I probably said that the last time I cleaned this out. But my process will be, do I use it? Do I love it? Not quite spark joy, but nearly. They're makeup brushes after all, they're fairly utilitarian.
Every change has a reason. Baby, let it come to you. Every soul, every season.
Now, the other thing that I have, which sort of counts in this area, maybe, I think, anyway, are these. Now, these are by Lab 2, or Lab Squared, depends how you think about things like that, or LAB, Lash Out Loud Mascara Wands. And they are silicone, and they have, each colour is a different style, so you can comb out bottom lashes with the little pink ones, and really get into the little corners, because this one has the bobbly bit on the end. So these are the original 4. I just keep washing them and they come up like new. So if you've got a friend, I just got these on Amazon, they cost very little, and if you have a friend who would like them as well, just go halves with them, because these make really ordinary mascara into decent mascara. You can comb it out gently with these very soft little silicone bristles. Anyway, so that's my hint for the day. Okay, these are palettes. The palettes I have, I don't have a lot of individual things, but I do have a few palettes. So the first one is this little Guerlain one, which is actually way too old to be healthy, I think, probably, but well, I replace the mascara in it frequently, and everything smells beautiful. They still smell perfectly like Guerlain. So I take a fresh wipe and I give them a little wipe out and a tidy up, and they are perfect for travelling generally or just having in your bag, and just a really good little palette. Now, I'm sure I'm not meant to have kept it this long, but it smells fresh. The mascara is a new one, and I just keep it, keep it wiped down. It's just too handy for me to get rid of.
If we stop believing we're meant to be, expanding our abilities. If the passion's gone, we are doing it wrong. Baby, you and I should start living now. With the whole world at our feet, we could stay or we could leave. There is nothing in between. So baby, we should start living now. 'Cause we only have this life. Wanna laugh and wanna cry. I don't wanna waste my time. So baby, we should start living now.
Here's a little pile of things that don't really fit in any category. This is something I got as a sample, which is the Hoola Benefit Blush Bronzer, and it's actually a really good size for travel, and it works really nicely as an eye colour, an eyeshadow, very, very subtle. So I'm going to put that in my travel ones. This is one of the Clinique chubby brushes, not brushes, pencil things. That one's a contour. I don't like it. It just doesn't work for me, so that's going out. This is another one of them. This is sort of a bronzy, actually a really nice colour, but for eyeshadow, but it just falls out all the time, and it always has, and it's annoyed me more than I want to think about. So that's time for that little Clinique pencil to go as well. My one and only translucent powder is the Laura Mercier, and I just keep replacing this, so that one is obviously is a stayer. This is the Rimmel Sun Shimmer, and I've used it quite a lot, and really I prefer the Bobbi Brown or the By Terry. That one can go as well. This is a Stella Everyday Colour, and it's great for lips and for cheeks and for everything, and as you can see, it's been well used and I really need to replace it. I'm trying to clean it as I go, but I think I'll keep it, but only until I replace it. What colour is it? Lilium. Does that make sense? Anyway, Stella, and just a lovely cream blush lip colour, anything you want it to be, even looks quite nice on your eyes. This is my thing when I go through duty free. It's the Guerlain Meteorites, and they just give a lovely glowy skin. You just brush it over or pad it on. They've got a little pad with it, and they're old. These ones aren't particularly old, but it's an old product, and it was still available last time I went through Dubai, and I picked it up because it smells, everything by Guerlain smells so pretty, plus this is just the most gorgeous little one, and this is the tiny one I've just put them out into to once again for travel, so they both can stay. I got rid of 3 things. That's a plus. Okay, this is sort of foundations and things. Right, this went out of production. I liked it, but to be honest, I know why it wasn't as popular as it should have been, because it wasn't super cheap for a supermarket product, but it was gone in a flash. So that's out. This was a little sample of an iconic glow, which is really just too bright for me. It's an illuminator blush, but I mean, seriously, if I use the tiniest drop, I still look like I've been glow sticked. Anyway, I think that one can go as well. The best thing on the planet, Charlotte Tilbury's Hollywood Flawless Filter. Absolutely keep that. This is just a nice Estee Lauder set and refresh for just spraying your makeup when you're finished, so it stays on. My absolute go-to, and I have one, I think I have one extra in stock ready for when this runs out. The By Terry's CC cream is gorgeous just for every day. fantastic. The other one is, of course, the It Cosmetics. I think I have one of those somewhere too. Not sure where. Then there's the Chanel Vita Luminaire. I'm not... that's too old. I'm going to get rid of that. So it's quite nice, but it's time for it to go. Another of the Clinique Chubby Sticks. This one was the foundation. I just can't get them to work for me. I know some people do, but I can't. Charlotte Tilbury, again, for more of a foundation. Love it. Definitely keeping that. Lancome, I don't think I will. It's a really good long wear foundation. Maybe I'll keep it for one more sort. But I do tend to rely on this and or the It Cosmetics one. Then I have these three concealers. One is the absolute go-to. It's sort of like a dupe for the Tom Ford, which is the Maybelline Age Rewind, and it's really good. I don't particularly like having the sticky little brush on the end, this little sponge thing, but it is a really good concealer. The other one is NARS, the NARS one, and that's a heavier one. That's sort of more like for evening if you've got redness or anything like that, and you really want to knock it out. NARS things get so dirty. That sort of grippy bit on the top of NARS is not so great, but that is a really nice concealer. Definitely keep that. It's not even that old. And this is the one I use around eyes and things, and this is the Charlotte Tilbury. You can see I'm an absolute devotee of Charlotte Tilbury. It helps if I tell you what it's called. Mini Miracle Wand, and I think there's another version of it out now. I had got this a while ago, and you just twist it and the product comes up, but you put this end on first and then you top it with the actual concealer, and it really does make you look like you're wide awake and ready for the day, which I frequently am not. Right, that was okay. Got rid of 4 things. That's a good one. And as I said, yes, I do have a fresh one of the It Cosmetics CC cream. It's got a 50 plus SPF, so that's going to be terrific when I'm in Africa, but when I've been around home anyway. And I always have a double up ready, a backup for the By Terry CC cream as well. This is the Charlotte Tilbury, what do they call it, overnight bronze and glow mask. Now that works for me. It's sort of like a foundation, as some sort of as a makeup as opposed to a skincare, even though it actually works as a skincare as well because it's Charlotte Tilbury, but it just gives the softest tan overnight, and so that really sort of almost sits with those items, because it's it's like wearing a very gentle makeup. It's a great tan. Okay, a quick battery change later, and I'm back with mascaras and sort of general eye things. Products that I like, I will pick up when they're on 50% off at the supermarket, because honestly, mascaras, especially when you have those little silicone brushes that I mentioned earlier, any mascara is the one thing that I am absolutely religious about getting rid of, because I'm sure that that's where a lot of people who have eye issues, that's where it comes from, that they're not changing their mascaras quickly enough. And I think they say absolute maximum is 6 months. Actually, this one says 12 months, but I often find that by the end of say 4 or 5 months, they're starting to get a bit dry. 6 months, they're often on the way out. Well, that one says 12, but frankly, that's the one thing I wouldn't take their advice on. And if in doubt, just change them. And if you can pick them up in advance when they're on special, like these Rimmel ones, which I I quite like, and they work really well when you combine them with those little silicone brushes that just brush everything out. So there we are. I've got a couple of those ready and waiting to go. Here's the original. That's still fine. Smells fine. I mean, you do have to go by if they smell okay to some degree. This is my favourite of the moment. This is the Benefit Roller Lash. It's almost gone, but you can see it's got an absolutely tiny brush on it, little silicone brush, and I really like that, but that is so close to being on the way out, but I'm hanging on to it just that little bit longer. This is one I don't use. It's called Babe Lash, and it comes with both the brush and the extra sort of fibres to put on your lashes, and this, for me, that doesn't work. So that one is one that's going to go. My all-time probably favourite is a tubular mascara, and this is the Givenchy. I have one here ready to replace it with. Absolutely wonderful mascara. And it comes with this strange little brush that just sort of wanders around, and you can bend it and put it on in different ways. I don't. You see there's still some on this, but not much. That is actually empty, and pretty much empty, and has to go. I did buy the replacement when I saw it on one of those sites like Catch that you get a good deal of the day on. And actually I won't open it, because sort of is once you open them up to the bacteria of the air, and that's when they can start going off. Now that one is a Bobbi Brown sample one. I love their size, they're great for travelling, and that's also not been opened. And this one is well past its use by date. I'm sure it doesn't even have a label left on it. It's all been smudged off. But I think, it might have been a Lancome, because I do like Lancome as well. But that one, I'm afraid, it's time it went. Now, stop playing around, okay. Right, lip things. My goodness. Okay, first I'm going to sort them out into balms and oils and sort of treatmenty things and others. Right, well, we've got balms down here, and I think that's probably a balm as well anyway, but we'll talk about that when we get there. And some pencils, and then straight out lipsticks. Okay, this one is a Rimmel, long lasting, 1,000 Kisses, whatever. And unlike everything else in Rimmel, this one I don't like, and that's going to go. It's just too hard, it's almost scratchy. Then these are Rimmel soft ones. These are really nice, but they do break, and I think they've changed the way they make them so that they're not as, see, it's very squishy, so I'm not impressed with that. That one actually can go. I have this, which is the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in Pillow Talk, and this is just lovely, and I think Pillow Talk is probably the best colour ever invented by anyone, and of course it's by Charlotte Tilbury. So that's the one I'm using a lot at the moment, but I actually will open one of these to replace the one I've just got rid of. These are the sort of easy ones, the balms. This was another one of those chubby sticks, and unlike many of the others, this one is completely gone. So I'm really sorry, Chubby Stick, which is a moisturising lip balm in the colour Mighty Mimosa, and I actually will try to replace that. That's a Clinique product, really gorgeous, great one to have in the bag, so I'm going to put that one aside to replace.
Something is behind the clouds. We just have to believe it, that we can make the sun come out. Let us lose our...
And this is a little Clarins treatment oil, which is particularly nice, and you put it on at night, and it really does stop your lips getting that sort of summer or winter dryness. But this is heaven in a pot. This is the By Terry Balm de Rose. It smells so wonderful. And one day I will use it up, and oh, my life will be over. No, I won't. It'll just have to get some more. But it smells wonderful, and like all of the By Terry products, it's excellent. It says 12 months. It's probably been about 12 months, and I use it frequently, and I'm nearly at the bottom, but a wee way to go yet, and it's perfect. So obviously holding on to it, keeping on using it, use it all the time. Right, this is another Dior, that's another lip balm. This is called Lip Glow, which is called a Colour Reviver Balm, which is literally brings out the colour in your own lips. That's wonderful as well. These are a couple of tiny Dior samples that I picked up once when I was travelling. There's a tiny bit of that one left. I must use it up. That's just a little light lip gloss. And this one, you think would have been my favourite, because I just used that one completely. It's down to nothing. And sadly, I think that will actually have to go. Heartbreaking, really. Oh well, off it goes. Then some. Now what I've got here. Oh, this is another By Terry product, which is another rose balm, and it is a slightly coloured one, so it gives you a tiny bit of colour. Hang on, my battery's flashing again. So, yes, the battery that I changed to was apparently almost as empty as the battery I changed from. So we are now at the next morning, because batteries take a little while to charge, and I went to bed. So now I just have to look at the lipsticks. and none of them are very strong stains, but we'll start with this one, which is an ASOS one. It came as a sample, and it is, let me see, so not my colour. You can appreciate that, can't you? That's got a lot of orange in it. That just isn't for me, so I'm going to see if I can give that one away. It's never been used. The next one is a little sample Clarins. That is literally the size of the bullet. That came just in a one of those gift with purchases. So keep that. It goes in my bag usually. It's just a nice little size for that, and it'll be used up soon. Here is, oh my goodness, a very nice Dior that is down to the last little part of the bullet, but that is definitely staying. What's that one called? It's 363 if anybody's interested, but there we are. So those two stay. This is a very nice Chanel one that I bought a while ago. It's more of a winter colour, and it's lovely. It's 428. It's not as dark as it looks when you put it on, and it comes out to just quite a nice deep bluey red. I always go for the bluey sorts of reds if I'm wearing a red. Here's a Bobbi Brown that is an absolute red, and once again though you can see it's a blue red. It's quite old. It's called Hollywood Red, and it's a beaut colour, but I'm very rarely brave enough to wear it. A girlfriend was wearing red the other day and she said, yeah, I'm not often brave enough to wear red. Now for my current favourite, this beautiful Chanel bubblegum colour, which is no colour at all. It's really just another gloss. Then, best colour ever for everyone, just heads up, this is a Charlotte Tilbury, and it's called Pillow Talk, and it's a fabulous colour. So I've had that, I must have got that pretty soon after it came out actually. It's a Charlotte Tilbury products, as you might have guessed, one of my favourites, by Terry and Charlotte Tilbury. Hard to go past a Dior and Chanel for a lipstick, and that Bobbi Brown one, which I think is really old, but it still smells fine, is great. So that's my very small pile of lipsticks. So there we are. That's all of the makeup side sorted, and it went on way too long, and it took an awful lot of shuffling around, and there'll be all sorts of light differences in this, so apologies for that. But it's done, and I can check one thing off my list of things I want to do for my sort of autumn spring cleanup. Well, it's the next day, and I'm finally finishing the video. Really? 2 batteries going dead at the same time. I have no idea why. I can't think why I put a battery back in the charged battery bag if it wasn't charged, but apparently I did. So yeah, I just managed to get it finished under really all sorts of different lighting, so you'll have to just let that one go. I have obviously completely forgotten how to make a video. Here we are. I'm going to have to relearn all over again. I hope that some of you will come with me despite that. And yes, it's been, obviously I have had too long a break and I need to get straight back in. It's like riding a horse, isn't it? You've got to get straight back on. Or because it is today, you may be riding a dragon. Because maybe somewhere in today there will be some Game of Thrones. Just saying. I know, addiction at my age, it's ludicrous, isn't it? Anyway, it is now the end of the day. I've been busy all day. I'm now going to think about making some food for myself with nothing in the house. But there, of course, is a pantry full of food and freezer full of things. So I'm going to go and scare up some food. Maybe I'll make something like a Tuscan soup, a bean soup or something. So that is the end of this, and obviously there will have to be a part 2 where I sort out all of my skincare, which is probably more important to me honestly than makeup, but it was nice to get sort of things cleaned out, cleared out, know exactly what's there, know what I need to, well, I don't need to get anything actually, but you know, just to know exactly what's there. And on the skincare side, I've got to go through because I've got so many sample size things. So I will be back. It won't be the next video. No, that one won't be, but it will be soon. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.